G'day guys, what's up? Hope you're all having an awesome day. Today we're going to be taking out the diff in the R33. Now this one here, since I've had it, I have no idea what diff is in it, whether it's an open center, whether it's an LSD. I know this car has been turbo converted back in the day, and it's also been automatic converted. So I have no idea what on earth this diff is, whether it's an LSD, whether it's an open center. Every single time I try and get up on the driveway, one of the wheels spin when it lifts up. So yeah. Doesn't matter today though, we're not going to be replacing it with an open center or a welded diff, but we're going to be replacing it with this right here, which is a Nismo two-way LSD that I picked up in Japan. If you guys remember that Japan trip I did a fairly long time ago, I think it was like 3 or 4 months ago now. I really need to get back there and see Sam again, if he ever gets back there, that is. But anyway, we have that Nismo two-way that I picked up from Up Garage. I think it was around 400 AUD, which is extremely cheap in terms of if I was to buy it in Australia. I picked that up from Up Garage. Very, very happy that I did, because now I can finally sort out this two-way in here. And I think it's going to be cool to have a two-way, my first drift car, so that way I can sort of set it up properly, do it all right the first time, and then take this straight out on the track. Just really hope I don't break it. But yeah. Today we're going to be removing the diff in the R33. Now apparently this job is a bit of a pain in the butt because, what is it? Sway bar, I'm just going to move out the way anyway. Apparently people have been having a little bit of like just an annoyance with the sway bars in these things and trying to get the diff out over it. Gonna have to do all 4, or is there 5? Okay, there's 5 nuts on each side here. And also, I think I'm going to try to remove the section of the exhaust, so that way I can just get that out the way as well. So I think I'll start off with the sway bar, get that out the way, unbolt the exhaust right here, and let this exhaust section hang down, and remove the rear section of the exhaust here. And then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna let these sit with some WD-40, because apparently these are an absolute pitch to get out. And if they're anything like the tail shaft bolts we took out last weekend, it is going to be an absolute mess. Alright, so one thing I will do before anything is take out this sway bar right here, and also take off these little bits right here. And that way, it should be a whole lot easier to get that thing out and just sort of access all the bolts up there, as well as do this exhaust right here. And it's going to undo these 4 bolts, get rid of that exhaust out the way, and then we should be right to drop the diff once we do all those, once we do all 5 of these, all 5 of them, all 4 of them, and then undo 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 up there. So, let's get to it. Rightio, so both the sway bar, rear section of the exhaust are out now. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start getting to the axles and the tail shaft. Now if you guys already know from last week's video, you will know that everything under this car is extremely tight, like annoyingly tight. We're not quite sure exactly what they used to tighten everything up, but when we were doing the gearbox install especially, everything was like, you need a massive big breaker bar and you need to be swinging off it to get it undone. So it's going to be quite interesting, I could imagine, but hopefully the WD-40's loosened up a fair bit of stuff. And if it was as easy as taking out those 2 parts there, hopefully it all goes well. If not, hey, you know, I have all day, I have a week, you know, this car doesn't need to drive anywhere until I get that new link in, so it doesn't really matter. So anyway, let's get back to it, see if we can get this diff out. Alright, so that WD-40 helped, and I just smashed my knuckles up against the top of the car, right on that bit there. But hey, it came out. That's a good sign, I guess. Alrighty, so it's about half an hour later, I dare say, and it's actually, everything's gone really smoothly. If we just quickly jump under here, we managed to get every single bolt out just up there, every bolt out just up there, exhaust is out the way and off the hanger. This one here, everything's unbolted up there, and now what's left to do is these 2 right there, and also these two right here. So I'm gonna chuck the jack under it right now. And yeah, but all the bolts came out really nicely. Like there wasn't any that got really stuck. I think the WD-40 also pretty much helped as well. But yeah, no, everything came out really, really smoothly. No bolts rounded. So yeah, very, very stoked. Rightio. So 4 more bolts and she should be out. Rightio, so very, very simple, especially when everything works. It just went well. Diff is out, so I have no idea exactly what diff it is. I'm going to try and identify it, see if it is an LSD. I'm pretty sure it is an LSD. Sarah just got back home from the gym. I'm going to see if she knows what it is. Oh, hi! You going to do the gardening? Alright, come over here. What do you reckon this is?
It's diff.
A diff?
A diff.
Nice. What's a diff short for?
Differential.
Differential. 2 bolts I didn't expect with that one there, especially on the backside here. What it actually is, there's 1 bolt that sits there and then another bolt which connects the earth, which you guys can kind of see it's just dangling down there. So there's 1 bolt that actually sits against it and then 1 bolt that holds in the earth. So I got out 1 bolt, got out 2 bolts, and then I was trying to get the diff out, but then of course that second bolt was holding it in. I don't know why they wouldn't just, you know, put the earth straight in and then put 1 bolt on top. I don't know what they're trying to achieve with that, but yeah, oh well. And the other thing I didn't get was the breather as well, but that sort of slipped off as soon as I was lowering the diff, because obviously little tiny plastic cozy boy versus very, very heavy diff. The plastic cozy boy just came straight off. Rightio, so we are all good to go. I'm just going to head off to Hearts right now. Also going to fill up the car with some E85, and believe it or not, this is only the 2nd tank that I put through it in 2 weeks, and I've been pretty much driving this car every single day, and you know, it hasn't had an easy life in the last 2 weeks, I will admit, and it's actually been really good. I think I'm getting around about 400 Ks to a tank with E85, which I'm super stoked about. Anyway, I have a jerry can here which I need to use, so I'm going to quickly fill it up with that. Going to head to United, grab some more E85, take this diff to Hearts, and then I think this afternoon we're going to head out with Max and go do some filming of these XR8 in through the hills. So anyway, let's go do that real quick. I filled up this jerry of E85 literally about, I think, 1 or 2 weeks ago when I went up to Queensland Raceway, because I didn't know what the new tune was going to do or how much E85 I was going to use. I ended up filling this extra jerry of 20 litres of E85, and I ended up only using 1/8 of a tank going to and from. So let's fill up my car with this beauty right here. Right, she's all filled up. We got a diff and a Nismo LSD in the boot. So let's head to Hearts transmission. So how good's this, guys? I've been driving for around about 5 minutes, and I completely forgot to show you guys the fuel economy this thing gets. 405 kilometers on a single tank of V85. That's not too bad considering on 98 I was getting 500. That's wicked. I'm super stoked with that. Rightio, so I just got back from Hearts, went and dropped it off. If you guys don't know Hearts Transmissions, they're a pretty respected diff and transmission specialist here in Northside Brisbane. They're only just down in Brendale too. Originally I was going to have work done through them before with the 5-speed and the NA, but they only do manual transmissions. So it's cool to actually finally work with a brand that I've wanted to work with for a fairly long time now. And yeah, I'm keen to see what they come up with. He reckons around about a week. They're just absolutely flat out. So the Skyline will be sitting up on jack stands for around about a week or so. That's okay, because we got heaps of stuff we want to do to the Falcon anyway. I say I want to do to it, but I just want to go out driving. It's just going to be heaps of fun. But at the moment, we're about to jump in Max's ute and go for a bit of a rip around the mountains. But you guys will see that in tomorrow's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.